All right, let's get into it. Today, we're taking a trip to the shores of Lake Superior to look at a city with a truly unique set of problems. We're doing a deep dive into this case study on Duluth, Minnesota, and why it's known for being a total plumbing nightmare.
It's a really good question, right? I mean, you'd think pipes are pipes, no matter where you are. But in some places, the environment itself just seems to declare war on your home's plumbing. So, what on earth is going on in Duluth?
And there it is. That's your answer in a nutshell. It's not just one thing. It's this perfect storm of three huge factors all hitting at once. You've got the crazy cold, the dramatic geography, and infrastructure that's just old. Together, these create what we're going to call the four enemies of your pipes. Let's break them down.
Okay, so to really get a handle on this, we're going to personify the problem. Think of these as the four main villains in our story, the forces that are constantly, relentlessly working to break down the plumbing systems all across the city. So, enemy number one is the most obvious one, the cold. And I'm not talking about just a chilly day where you need a sweater. We're talking about a brutal, pipe-bursting kind of assault that happens every single winter, without fail. So here's how this attack really plays out. When the temperature just plummets to 20 below, any still water in your pipes doesn't just freeze, it expands with incredible force. I mean, enough force to crack solid metal pipes. But the real monster here is the freeze-thaw cycle. This constant expanding and contracting puts enormous stress on those big underground lines. And the scariest part? The damage is often totally silent, just a ticking time bomb, waiting for the first warm day to unleash a massive flood. All right, let's talk about the next enemy, which is literally built into the landscape of the city. Duluth is famous for being built on this super steep hill that rises right up from Lake Superior. And that elevation, it creates a constant two-front war for water pressure. And this just perfectly illustrates the bizarre problem. If you live up the hill in neighborhoods like Piedmont, your water is literally fighting gravity just to get to you. The result, super frustrating, low water pressure. But if you live down by the lake, you've got the exact opposite problem. The pressure is so high that it just chews through your faucets, damages your appliances, and causes leaks left and right. Two totally different problems, all caused by the very same hill. Now, our third enemy isn't something you can see from the outside. No, this one's already hiding inside the walls of so many of Duluth's older homes. It's this slow, creeping threat that's been building for decades. And this is the key thing to understand right here. Galvanized steel pipes. For a long time, this was the go-to material, but it has a fatal flaw. Over 50, 60, or 70 years, they basically rust from the inside out. It's like the arteries of your home's circulatory system slowly clogging up. And that corrosion creates this awful domino effect. First, the rust builds up and just strangles your water flow, giving you terrible pressure. Then, little bits of that sediment can break off, which is why you might see brown water coming out of the tap. And finally, the pipe walls just get so weak that they give up, leading to a slow leak or a catastrophic burst. This is a common story in a lot of Duluth's beautiful, historic neighborhoods. And that brings us to our final enemy. For this one, we look right back at the Great Lake itself. You see, it's not just the cold that's a problem. It's the constant presence of water in the air, a subtle but very real force of destruction. This quote really says it all. That damp, lake-effect air works its magic all year long, even in the middle of summer, and it just speeds up the rusting process on any exposed metal in a plumbing system. It means things like water heaters and fixture connections, they just don't last as long here. So you've got these four enemies constantly on the attack. What happens when they finally win a battle? Well, the consequences for homeowners can be sudden, they can be messy, and they are always incredibly stressful. These are the absolute worst-case scenarios. A burst pipe isn't just a drip, it's like turning on a fire hose inside your walls. Water heaters, which already have a short life expectancy in Duluth, can suddenly let go and flood an entire basement. And when you get a heavy rain, the city's older sewer systems just can't keep up, sending all that nasty wastewater right back into people's homes. Okay, but it's not all doom and gloom. For every one of these terrible problems, there's a solution. So let's flip the script and look at how the pros fight back against these plumbing nightmares with a really clear, methodical plan of attack. Look, when your basement is filling up with water, a clear process is everything. This three-step approach is all about taking away the uncertainty. First, find the real problem, not just the symptom, and give a firm price up front. No surprises. Second, do the work the right way, by the book. And third,
prove that it's fixed, and actually back it up with a real guarantee. And this is absolutely critical. Pipes do not burst on a convenient 9 to 5 schedule. They fail at 3 in the morning, on a holiday, when you least expect it. Having a genuine 24/7 response team means you can stop the damage minutes after it starts, which can save you thousands of dollars and a world of hurt. Of course, the best way to deal with a disaster is to stop it from ever happening in the first place. So this last part is all about empowering you with the knowledge to understand what's going on in your own home and to spot the trouble signs before it's too late. I love this because it connects all the dots. Every single one of the major problems we've talked about has a specific long-term fix. Got low pressure from old pipes? The real answer is a whole home repipe. Pipes freezing? Insulate them. Pressure too high? A simple valve can fix that. And for that hard water from the lake, a water softener protects your whole system. See, these aren't just Band-Aids, they're permanent solutions. So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this one thought. That weak shower, that little bit of discolored water, that gurgling drain, they're not just small annoyances. They're signals. And after seeing what can happen in a city like Duluth, the real takeaway is this. You gotta listen to what your pipes are trying to tell you before it turns into a scream.